Hey, Raiders Nation. We've got a lot to unpack today, and I can't wait to dive right into all the latest updates surrounding our Las Vegas Raiders. Let's get straight to it, because this past week has been a roller coaster in terms of news, roster moves, injuries, and overall team outlook. First off, we have the tough update regarding Jackson Powers-Johnson. Unfortunately, he has officially been placed on injured reserve, which means he will be sidelined for at least 4 weeks. Now, in reality, given the timing and the nature of his injury, there's a good chance that this could mark the end of his season unless the Raiders somehow pull off a significant run later in the year. And let me tell you, fingers crossed, because imagining this team finishing 10-7 is wild, but absolutely thrilling. 10-7 would be a major accomplishment given all the challenges the Raiders have faced this season, and it's hard not to dream a little about that possibility. Now, looking at the offensive line, things have been a bit of a nightmare, and that's no exaggeration. With Jackson Powers-Johnson out, the stability and performance of the interior line are under serious scrutiny. Dylan Parham's status remains uncertain at the time of this recording, as he's dealing with an ankle injury, and while we don't have concrete updates, it's likely he could be out for several weeks as well. That leaves the team scrambling to figure out how to manage matchups against some of the league's top defensive lines. And speaking of concerns, Alex Kappa may be stepping in as the starting right guard against a Dallas Cowboys team that is loaded with new defensive talent. That's never an easy scenario, and it immediately puts the Raiders' protection schemes and offensive rhythm to the test. Even with all of these hurdles, it's important to highlight the support and love that Jackson Powers-Johnson has been receiving. Despite the injury, JPJ seems to be in high spirits. The reaction from fans has been incredible, showing just how much Raider Nation stands behind this player. From his Instagram posts to messages of encouragement from fans across the country, the outpouring of support has been overwhelming, and it really shows the strong bond between players and the fan base. JPJ's family has also expressed gratitude for the encouragement, and it's clear that the community surrounding him is doing everything possible to keep him motivated and focused during his recovery. As fans, it's essential that we continue to lift him up because he's a pivotal part of the Raiders' future, particularly on the interior offensive line. The hope is that he remains a central figure when he returns and that he knows this organization and fan base are fully behind him. Moving to other aspects of the team, there's some positive news to offset the challenges. The Raiders decided not to sign an additional offensive lineman after Jackson Powers-Johnson went down, which actually could be interpreted as a vote of confidence in some of the younger players, particularly Caleb Rogers. Drafted in the 3rd round, Rogers may finally see meaningful playing time, potentially even in this upcoming game against Dallas. Pairing him with Charles Grant could provide a more dynamic and versatile look on the line, giving the Raiders options to shuffle positions and cover for injuries without compromising performance. This flexibility could prove critical in maintaining offensive continuity despite the setbacks. On the defensive side, the team made a move to sign Jamon Davis, a former first-round linebacker from Kentucky. Davis is an athlete with experience and has appeared in more than 50 professional games, though he hasn't started since 2023. While he may not immediately transform the Raiders' defense, his addition signals potential for contributions on special teams and situational plays. There's also a chance, given his athleticism, that he could take on a hybrid role similar to players like Jamal Adams, contributing in pass-rushing situations while also bolstering linebacker depth. This type of versatility could allow the Raiders to better manage rotations and keep key players fresher throughout games, particularly Devin White, who may see adjustments in his snap counts depending on Davis's usage. Special teams also received attention this week, with the Raiders adding Greg Joseph to the practice squad. Joseph's addition isn't just about his kicking stats. It's a clear signal that the coaching staff is committed to competition and accountability. Daniel Carlson, who is in the final year of his contract, has struggled with consistency this season, and Joseph's presence adds pressure to perform, which is exactly the environment the Raiders want. This move underscores a broader philosophy in the organization. When you challenge players and back up those challenges with action, it fosters growth and pushes the team forward. Joseph's experience, combined with the internal competition, could help stabilize the kicking game and special teams unit, which have been a weak point in recent matchups. Turning to the upcoming game, the Raiders face a Dallas Cowboys squad that has made a series of defensive acquisitions, including Marvion Overshone and Siobhan Rebel, along with other impactful pieces. This revamped defensive front presents a tough challenge for the Raiders' offensive line, but as history has shown, this team has the ability to rebound in unexpected ways. Just 3 days after a low-scoring loss, they have demonstrated the capacity to dominate high-powered offenses, so anything is possible. The key will be how the Raiders adjust their line, implement creative schemes, and leverage their young talent like Rodgers and Grant while navigating the pressure from a reinvigorated Dallas defense. Overall, while injuries and roster changes have created challenges, there is an underlying current of optimism. The Raiders have shown they are willing to trust young players, make strategic additions to both offense and defense, and keep competition alive within the squad. This balance of adversity and opportunity makes every week an intriguing story to follow. Fans have reasons to stay engaged and invested, as every decision, whether on the offensive line, linebacker rotations, or special teams, has the potential to reshape the trajectory of this season. The resilience of this team, combined with the support of Raider Nation, sets the stage for some truly compelling football in the weeks ahead. Now, looking deeper into the Raiders' current situation, it's impossible to ignore the strategic implications of recent moves and injuries, especially as we approach critical matchups in the season. With Jackson Powers-Johnson on injured reserve and Dylan Parham likely out for several weeks, the offensive line has become a central storyline. It's not just about who fills the gaps. It's about how the entire offensive identity will shift in response to these changes. The Raiders' line has always been a determining factor in both protecting the quarterback and establishing the run game. Without the usual starters, the coaching staff will need to get creative, and this could mean reshuffling positions, giving young players significant snaps, and relying on versatility in ways we haven't fully seen yet. Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers could find themselves in key roles, which is both exciting and nerve-wracking for fans. The potential for growth is huge, but the margin for error is smaller, especially against a team like the Cowboys, who have added several new defensive starters and bring an unpredictable element to every play. Despite these challenges, there are reasons for cautious optimism. Caleb Rogers has impressed in practice, showing the kind of athleticism and adaptability that the Raiders need right now. Pairing him with Charles Grant, who can play multiple positions along the line, offers a flexibility that could mitigate some of the risks posed by injuries. Meanwhile, Will Putnam and Alex Kappa will be under the microscope. Kappa stepping in at right guard, for instance, will be a true test of the Raiders' depth, and how the coaching staff chooses to deploy players could make a big difference in this game and beyond. The ability to rotate linemen and adjust formations on the fly might be what keeps this offense functional despite the missing pieces. The offensive line is more than a set of positions. It's the heartbeat of the team, and every adjustment reverberates through the running game, the passing game, and the overall tempo of the offense. Turning to defense, the signing of Jamon Davis adds an interesting layer to the conversation. While he may not immediately take over a starting role, his athleticism and experience provide the Raiders with more options, particularly in special teams and situational packages. Davis has the potential to contribute in key moments, whether in coverage, as a pass rusher, or by creating rotational flexibility that allows other linebackers to focus on specific matchups. There's even the possibility of using him in a hybrid role, similar to what other teams have done with versatile linebackers who can both rush the passer and drop into coverage. The coaching staff now has the chance to experiment with these alignments without overtaxing key starters like Devin White, giving the defense more tools to respond to high-pressure situations. Special teams, which have been a point of concern, also receive a boost with the addition of Greg Joseph. While he may not completely overhaul the kicking game, the presence of a competitor for Daniel Carlson sends a clear message. Accountability and performance are non-negotiable. Carlson has faced struggles this season, and introducing Joseph as a viable alternative reinforces the importance of consistency. It's more than just the kick. It's about sending the message that every play matters, and that the Raiders are serious about elevating performance across the board. This mentality can create a culture shift within the team, pushing players to be sharper, more precise, and more engaged, which can have ripple effects in both practice and games. The pressure and motivation provided by this competition could be a turning point for the Raiders' special teams unit, which has directly impacted outcomes in several matchups this season. Looking at the upcoming clash with Dallas, the Raiders face a Cowboys defense that has undergone significant changes, adding new players like Marvion Overshown, Siobhan Rebel, and others who bring a fresh dynamic to the front seven and secondary. This means the Raiders' offensive line and skill players will need to adapt quickly, anticipate pressure, and adjust schemes on the fly. It's a matchup that tests not just physical skills, but also football IQ, preparation, and resilience. The Raiders have shown in the past that they can rebound from tough losses, sometimes dramatically, which gives hope that despite the challenges, they can execute a strong game plan and potentially come away with a significant win. The mental fortitude of the team, combined with creative coaching adjustments, will be crucial in navigating this matchup successfully. The narrative of the Raiders this season has been defined by resilience, adaptability, and moments of unexpected brilliance. Even with injuries and roster shifts, there's an energy surrounding the team that suggests they are capable of overcoming adversity. Every snap, every rotation, and every strategic decision now carries more weight, and the young players stepping into expanded roles have an opportunity to prove themselves under pressure. Caleb Rogers, Charles Grant, Jamon Davis, and even special teams additions like Greg Joseph represent a blend of youth, talent, and potential that could shape the team's identity in both the present and future. In addition to the technical aspects of play, the team's chemistry and the support from Raider Nation remain vital. Fans have consistently shown how much they care, and the encouragement extended to players like Jackson Powers Johnson highlights the deep connection between the team and its community. That connection can be a motivating force for players returning from injury or stepping into new roles, reinforcing the idea that their efforts are recognized and appreciated. The atmosphere created by fan support, combined with strategic roster decisions and a focus on development, has the potential to turn challenging situations into opportunities for growth and unexpected victories. Overall, the Raiders are navigating a season filled with uncertainty but also possibility. Injuries and roster adjustments have created challenges, but they have also opened the door for young talent to shine, for competition to drive performance, and for creative coaching to make a tangible impact. As we look forward to upcoming games, particularly against formidable opponents like Dallas, the emphasis on resilience, versatility, and preparation will be critical. Raider Nation can take heart in knowing that while the season has its hurdles, the team is positioned to make the most of each opportunity, whether that comes through standout performances, strategic lineup decisions, or the sheer determination to overcome adversity. Every week tells a new story, and as this team adapts and grows, there's a sense of excitement and anticipation that makes following the silver and black an experience unlike any other in football. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are growing louder across the NFL landscape, and if they prove true, the league could be facing one of the biggest controversies in recent memory. Sources close to both franchises are hinting at something unprecedented: the possible nullification of the Broncos versus Raiders game. The story has spread through locker rooms, front offices, and sports talk shows like wildfire, though no official statement has yet been made by the league. What exactly could lead to such a drastic move? That's the million-dollar question echoing through every corridor in the NFL. Some insiders claim that irregularities were discovered involving officiating or in-game communication systems. Others suggest it might be related to a procedural breach before kickoff, something as small as a roster eligibility error or as explosive as an administrative failure within league operations. For now, no one's talking on record, but the tension is palpable. Both teams have reportedly been instructed to remain available, a phrase that has only fueled speculation. The Broncos camp has maintained an unusual silence, with players dodging media requests and coaches deflecting questions. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, the Raiders staff has been seen in long meetings behind closed doors, fueling even more curiosity. Around the league, executives are said to be in constant communication, assessing the potential fallout of an annulment, something that could impact standings, playoff calculations, and even broadcast rights. Some analysts believe the league is torn between transparency and containment, unwilling to confirm anything until all internal reviews are complete. For fans, the suspense is unbearable. Social media has erupted with theories ranging from conspiracy to clerical error, and no one seems to know which side of the story holds the truth. If the rumors hold any weight, the NFL might be standing on the brink of one of its most delicate moments in decades. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.